Alright, so a little in progress here. Obviously San Clemente is completely up. Um, these two pieces of flex track are going to go right here, and you're going to straight line from this Pico number 7 right all the way down on your main track. Main track, siding, yard track, all the way down over here. Follow the center line to this end where it ties into that turnout. So that's what I've done on that end. All this came up. So originally this was number 4s right here. I've put a Y in there. Then we go into a number 7 curved right. We've got a nice smooth joint. We've widened the curve out a little bit. And then all this, and that, I got test fitted tonight. So the way this is laid out, we've got the main line. We've got your siding with eventually a crossover down here somewhere for mid-train helpers to cut out. And then right here, you have a little bit of a lead, basically, so you can get engines from the engine house, and they can just come out one of those two tracks, come across, and just park right here if they need to, and do their movements or whatever, and they aren't fouling the siding or the main. So, going to do that, and then we have 2 pairs of insulated joiners here, 2 pairs of insulated joiners there, because coming in, you're in District 3, and I pushed it this way so it match up with the block. So that's a district boundary, and that's a district boundary, and then this will be a district boundary. And then obviously this will be a block, this will be a block, and all this, those car shop tracks, the lead, the Y, and the rearmost track are all going to be unsignaled. So that's basically what it is so far. Just test fitting, going to work my way over. One of the next things I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to get me some 50-foot cars and a couple engines and just set them here. And that'll give me an idea of where to stick the crossover. And then I'll just work the track up to it and just keep test fitting. Get everything test fit, and then I can drop feeders and all that. So doing that. And all right, guys, a little bit of an update. Progress update. We got a couple things. So start off over here in San Clemente. The track is basically permanently nailed down. I went ahead and did all the track spiking. I glued the flex track in a couple spots, but there's a couple spots where it curves, but it's still smooth, because where you ruin track work is having kinks at the ends of turnouts and squigglies all over. That's a whole lot better than it was. So that's in. I got a ground throw put on. I need to do a few over there. Again, we've got the main. We've got the siding. We've got what can be a siding, but it's unsignaled, so it can also be a yard track. Lead for the car shops. There's your helper stall. I went ahead and added frog wires to the Atlas and the Pico at this end and the Pico down there. These micro-engineering, I can solder frog wires to those and then solder frog wires to the Walters. The Atlas there, I'm going to go ahead and get up and put frog wires on them. But that's next. And then part of the wiring, I will put toggles in so we can turn those tracks off and whatnot. But haven't gotten power to it yet, because this is in our district, so I'm going to run the district bus while I'm at it. But in the meantime, you can see we'll roll a couple of cars through here. And just for fun, we'll route them. Do the crossover at this end. Like so. That bulkhead is very, very heavy, but there you go. And this front track it's loose, but it works. These have all been tacked down. I took the Rivermail track gauge and ran through them, so they're a whole lot better. But if we come over here, you can see I can just, boom, same thing. Oh, yeah. Okay. I didn't mean to push him that far in the track. But anyways, I've been running it back and forth. So that is what's going on over here. If we walk over, and sorry again for the shaky cam. Over here, the other thing they've done is Will has been working on this. We've been laying out the industries. So this doesn't actually go here. That's a junction tower for the junction. We'll need a yard office, but we went ahead and spiked down the last track in the back, which is a lead track for switching all the industries. This track right here is a caboose track. So I'll connect up to there. I'll go ahead and take this off, and we're just going to use a metal rod going out here to a ground throw to run that. And then the concept is this one comes over. It'll be a very gradual S-curve. You'll have one track in the back, one track in the front. The ice docks coming out like this. So you'll have a track, an ice rack, track. And then you've got a number 4 right. You've got a number 4 Y. This leg curves, comes out to here. And right there you have your stock pins. And then right there is your fuel company. So that's pretty much what we got done here. If we walk back over to the bridge, the curved trestle. Again, sorry for the dizziness. Basically what we've done is we went ahead and lowered the height of this. So it actually smooths. You can see where we cut the cork away. See where we cut it away. We're going to have to take some 40 grit sandpaper and just sand all this down. You can see where we started chiseling it out to get that bridge to fit in there nice and smooth. And whatnot. So, yeah. So that's what we did for Labor Day 2020. And thanks for watching the snippet. And you know the drill. More to come. All right, it's another little in progress snippet. A huge thank you to Ben Nye, who denies my statements that his weathering is awesome, despite the contrary. But we are weathering the track. So it's, what is it, Flocal Enamel Ty Brown, and you thin it or no?
I did not thin it.
Okay.
I think it's true color paint. Not that it really matters.
Probably. No, I just thought I'd mention it. I wish I had a drone.
Well, clears everything out of the track.
So I'm gonna get this set up on the other side of them and record some of it. So enjoy the brief time lapse. More to come as always. A quick little update here. Got a few things to go over. So first off, over here you'll notice, obviously the most obvious thing is this area has completely changed. Nolan wanted to stick this in here. Originally he wanted to stick it over there. So I said, you know, Nolan, you're over cluttering it. Okay. All right, fine. If we want to fit it in here, let's figure out a way to fit it in where it actually fits and it's not overwhelmed. So originally, you remember, we were going to have basically that stuff, except for the coal tower, the ice house and those stock pins and the oil company right all in here, and we had it marked out and everything. And then I talked it over with him and shuffled the buildings around where I wanted. And we basically came to the present arrangement, which is the industries. And then I think I had a clip showing that, the new arrangement. And then this is going to be engine terminal. So since that last clip, obviously we've gotten all three of these put in. This has all been wired up. And then all but two of the ladder, one of the ladder frogs and one of that one are not powered. That one's not because I just put it in, but all the rest of them, well, okay. And that was not. It needs a frog wire. But the rest of them are powered. Nolan ordered a couple hex frog juicers. He was very impressed with how well they perform, which I knew he would be because I know how well they work because I use them. So basically is what it is. It's a board, 6 outputs, 1 output for frog, or you can pair up 2. But basically it's a micro relay, just like on the PSX circuit breaker boards, and it flips it with just the most minute polarity changes. So it powers the frogs and you don't have to worry about momentary shorts. But I just went ahead and turned everything off for now. All three of these tracks are powered for the time being. They just go a terminal block under there. Eventually, when we start doing the panels for this whole area in here, we're going to run those to toggle so we can turn them on and off. Other thing I did, actually yesterday when I was here too, is I went ahead and got the caboose track in, put in a Y. I just laid it, and after I laid it, I realized the throw bar is on this side, and I could have moved it up and got me 3 4 caboose instead of 3. But I realized it after it was in, so okay. We'll work with it here. But so that's what's going on there. This is your supply track for dropping off parts and supplies for the shop forces. We'll probably have piles of parts here, a loading dock with a road. You got your fuel, your diesel fuel tanks. And then obviously here is going to be parking lot. Other thing I did over here, I brought my Code 100 Pico set track turnout from home. I'm not going to need it because I'm not going to be running a Code 100. So I went ahead and spliced that in and got the caboose track and the Y on that piece of flex track laid in one night. This is still loose, but I'm not too worried. I'll get straightened when we add wires. Still need to put some feeders on the lead and the caboose track and whatnot. The other thing we did, and a big thank you to Aron for this, is we finally got around to weathering the individual ties. So it probably looks a little more beat up, more like a lightly used and heavily abused branch line would. But I like the look. It just looks very, very, very cool. So I'm very, very impressed with this. And those are the little, not enamel, little testers. The, Tamina. So like this one is neutral gray. So that's what is going on there. Still got to do the runaround track, which goes from there over to there. That's coming soon, and we'll go ahead and splice in a turnout right there. But everything else is wired up and ready to go. There's another hex frog juicer mounted on a board right down there, and that should be enough to power the rest of the frogs, including this one doesn't need its own insel frog, but power this one because as part of this, we're going to put that there, and we're going to. I just realized the angle's off on that. That might have to be a number 6 or maybe a number 5. Interesting. But we'll move it up there. But anyway, we're going to do that and then tie it in. And you'll have enough lead to get an engine and a caboose onto here. And obviously, if you really, really needed to, then you could back a whole train up the switch lead into the yard, which when we're just running stuff for fun, we probably will. And if you really need to, you use this extra passive side lead. So that's what's going on over here. And just for reference, this is a little before Thanksgiving. So if we duck under the lift out, I'll point out NCE real quick, just to let you guys know. We accidentally fried one of the control bus cable jacks. So it had actually blown the command station side of the board. Go figure. But we finally got that thing back. And then now we'll dip over here. Pardon the crawling out of the lift out. But we did that. And then other thing, we got the actual recommended booster, the PB105, and got it all hooked up. So we're back at it again where the main layout and the secondary is powered. And then the thing I did today is I already run some of the bus wires underneath here to kind of push the wiring on all, on the secondary, all this for a little more. So I went ahead and got the block from there all the way through the tunnel, all the way over the bottom track right there, through the tunnel, and got feeders taken care of, clear up to the air tunnel portal. So for those of you who don't know, this is all going to be a steel plant. And then my plan is eventually I'm going to add a siding. So a couple places where you see I re-put feeders and a couple places where I moved them. So I did put them on the joint there. I took that off. And that's because eventually I'm going to put another Pico number 7 curved right hand in here and run a siding all the way down behind that over there. And then obviously we'll have a couple tracks to drop off inbound coal loads and limestone and rock and ore and all that stuff. But I got a pair of feeders. You can't really see them. They're about there, and then I got another pair right there. And conveniently enough, those were long enough leads that I didn't even have to run a red sub bus for them. I just ran them right over. Okay, pardon the big fat finger again. Sorry about that. Right there to the terminal strip. So a little 22 gauge, that's the red and the black's coming in. And the big red and big black is a District 4 bus. So the idea is for the time being, we've just got our jumpers. And then eventually we'll have it come from here, this side through the block detector, and then over here. And eventually also off of here, we'll go the red and the black. To run all this right here, all this switching area in here, because it's part of District 4, but it's obviously not signaled. So that'll be side. And this isn't signaled either. But this is going to tap off of the District 4 bus that I've run to right here. And I'm going to have it go the other loop around the rest of the layout to power the rest of District 4, which is this track, that way. So that's what I've gotten. Like I said, I would usually put more feeders through here. I would usually run the red sub bus, but I'm going to leave it. It's enough to get through for now, especially since this area, I'm planning on adding, like I said, a siding and a little mini yard for inbounds and outbounds. So that's the got to consider that. However, past that point, once you hit that tunnel portal, you got a turnout. You got another turnout. I don't know if the camera will show this. Yeah, inside the tunnel portal. So once you get past the turnout out here, obviously when the tunnel portal is stuck, unfortunately I can't see any way in Kingdom Come I'm going to add feeders to it, which is usually what I do, and jumpers and frog wire. That's that's going to be really interesting. Really interesting. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but you see the points. So I need to add more. I think there probably aren't any feeders in here. There's 22 radius. There's a pair right. Where'd they go? There, which I can get to. That's going to be easy. But you've got basically 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 pieces in here. So I'm going to stick a pair right there. I'm going to probably stick another pair right there, because a little section in here from that corner out to about there is really, really hard to get to underneath. I have no desire to crawl back in there. So it is going to stay unfeedered. But those two, and then this pair right here, should be plenty for this block. So there will be a red sub bus, because that will eventually be one of the signal blocks. I'll just add insulated rail joiners there, and the main and the sign will be so. But like from over there, obviously it's permanent. We got it the way we want it, so I can go ahead and wire it up. And then all this again is District 4, but it's not signaled, so I'll just tie into the district bus. And then we already got the feeders dropped on the bridge, and we've got the plugs under here, and they're all wired up. They connect and everything like they should. We got the pattern done. They're just the wires are dangling, so they're ready to be hooked up. But what else? Oh, about the only other thing is I have been fiddling with consists a little bit. So a combination of that is a vintage 90s Kato GP7 and an Atlas RS3 will climb it up that grade back there. And the grade in the rear is just about, you can kind of see it, is just about one of the worst possible ways to do a grade. And there's no easy way to get to it. So for them to pull 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cars up that on what's basically a 3.5% grade with a piece of 18 radius curve at the top is that's impressive. That's very, very impressive. So I did test run that. It ran pretty good. And yeah, so that's a little progress clip. I'm going to take a couple weeks off because we're ready to go visit Aunt Joan for Thanksgiving. But after we get back, we'll get back to it. And hopefully after we get back, a little teaser, I'll have an actual track plan announcement video and all that. But my buddy Antoine, that has a 30x30, is modeling 1984 on the seaboard, basically section Bossier and Birmingham, and a couple of snippets between basically Birmingham and Talladega, Alabama in 1984, including the paper milk Cosa. But I already got the track plan drawn up. I figured out all the districts. I figured out where the power supplies are going to be. I got staging drawn up. I got all the benchwork dimensions, the walkway dimensions. And he's got a 30 by 30 shed. Decided to put the man cave in the house. So we have the shed for the trains. But middle of December, he's going to be able to get in there. So hopefully at that point, a little bit of a teaser here, folks. We'll have the start of another model railroad video log. And on his, here we're retrofitting a very awesome existing product there. It's carpet on the floor, insulation in the walls, and nothing else. So we're starting a blank slate, which is very, very, very cool. I'll say my excitement. Let's just say I'm beyond excited to start this project. So, all right, y'all. That is going to do it for this clip. And yeah, as always, a little more to come. And Merry Christmas in advance, because this is going to be basically update for basically to December. So, all right, guys, more to come.